What's up everyone? So a question I get quite a lot is, how do you find the right lettings manager to basically manage your property portfolio? How do you know who to choose, who to go with, who's the best option? Because there's so many management companies out there that do HMO management, lettings management for your single lets, your HMOs, your serviced accommodations. But who do you go with? Who to choose? It's a bit of a minefield. So in this video, I want to break down some tips and tricks you can use to actually narrow down and find the best lettings manager for your property. Now, when I started out, I actually managed all my properties myself. So I did get that experience, that first-hand experience in property management. And I kind of know now what it takes, what's involved in terms of finding tenants, letting out rooms, letting out properties, tenancy agreements, things going wrong, all of this. So it all comes under property management. Now, I think if you've done it yourself, it does let you have a firm understanding on property management. So I definitely think that's helped me out big time. Now, in terms of actually finding the right management company for yourself, I think there's about 3 or 4 things we can do that are really going to help us. So the property managers that I'm actually using at the moment are called Slater and Brandley. Now, these guys have been amazing. I can't emphasize this enough. They've been really, really good. Now, how I actually found Slater and Brandley was through Instagram. So I managed to follow lots of people in Nottingham, and someone followed me, I followed them, and basically began talking. We went for coffee, little sit down meeting, and we're just speaking about each other's property journeys. And it turns out that who I met with was Will Brandley. He co-owns one of the most successful property management companies in Nottingham, which is called Slater and Brandley. So I became good friends with him basically, and we worked on some other stuff, some other deals. And I think having that good relationship with Will has definitely influenced my decision on going with his company to do the property management, because once you know someone, you know their work ethic, you know how on job they are in terms of running their company, you know what the passion that goes into what they do. Because a lot of the time I've heard horror stories with people that are working with lettings managers and they just don't care. They'll just take on the property, but they won't actually do the work. And with Slater and Brandley, they've definitely done the work. I've had a great experience so far. For example, what you're going to see on the screen is a video which one of my tenants sent to Slater and Brandley, which is my lettings agent. So they deal with all the tenants complaining, they take the rent, they literally deal with everything. So this video was sent to my lettings manager. Now, as you can see here, this washing machine is going crazy. And it turns out the transit bolts, we didn't actually take out the transit bolts, which is an easy mistake. Things happen. It's my fault. I should have instructed my plumber to do that for me, but I didn't. So the transit bolts were still in and they should have been taken out. This is what's caused the washing machine to go crazy like this. But the tenant has not done anything to stop that washing machine going crazy. They should have literally just pressed the stop button, but the tenant clearly does not give a okay? Because what they've done is they've just pulled out their camera and started videoing it. They didn't try and stop it. They didn't press the off switch on the wall. They didn't try and press the stop button on the washing machine. There's so many things they could have done to literally just stop that from going that crazy and nearly damaging my kitchen. But it is what it is. I'm not going to talk bad on anybody. But yeah, that's what happened. The lesson from this is I didn't actually have to deal with that. That was all dealt with by my lettings managers. So they literally dealt with the whole complaint, the back and forth with the tenant. They sent their maintenance person out to sort out the issue and remove the transit bolts. So that was all done, and I was working on other stuff. So I had a very, very busy last few days. So if I was managing that property for myself, then I would have had to go back and forth with the tenant, send my guy out, probably go down there to see if the kitchen had been damaged, all of this, but I didn't have to do anything. I literally just said, yeah, you can send the maintenance guy out, that's fine. So I just confirmed that they can send out the person. So it's been a real blessing to use a property managers. But now let's talk about how to choose the right manager. Okay, now let's say you don't know anyone that's a property manager and no one's came your way that's a property manager. What do? I think the first thing you can do, type in your location of where your property is situated and type in property management. Now, you're going to see loads come up. But what I want you to do is go on the Google reviews and see the reviews of each one. When you found a few that have good reviews, then what you can actually do is call them, okay? Go on the website, find a room or a property that's available and call the number, because it will definitely have a call to action saying call now to book a viewing. So what I want you to do is call that number, and you're calling as a tenant, so someone that's interested in one of the rooms or properties, and I want you to see, number one, do they pick up the phone? That is a big crucial aspect, because if your potential property managers won't even pick up the phone to someone when they're inquiring, then that's a bit of a red flag. So I think the first thing you can do is call up the office and see if they actually pick up. If they do pick up, then you need to see how they respond. See, are they nice? Are they well-spoken? Or are they quite rude and standoffish? Because that's another thing. So these are all things we need to factor in. And if they don't pick up the phone, then leave a message and see how long it takes them to get back to you. Obviously, if they get back to you straight away, then they're on job, they're really on point. So that's definitely a good sign. So do this for a couple of property managers, and this will definitely help you out. Okay, so my next tip is referral. So this is a case of networking, finding out who's a property developer, who's a landlord, who has several properties, and basically just asking them, can you recommend any property managers? So I know it's difficult, you might not have any friends that are landlords or property owners, but you can definitely jump online onto social media and see if anyone's recommended any property managers within that location, or just drop people a message and ask them, who do you recommend? I'm saying for Nottingham, I recommend Slater and Branley. I'm not in any way sponsored by them, but I'm just being honest. My experience has been good. So yeah, I would recommend them. If you do know anybody that is a property developer or landlord, and they can just refer someone to you, so they might say, well, I've had this experience with this letting agency, I've had a great experience with this letting agency, so if I was you, I'd go with this one. So advertisements, how do they actually handle the vacant rooms and vacant properties? Are their advertisements good? You know, do they actually look really good, or do the adverts look kind of rubbish? You know, look at the description, see the wording that they've used. Have they just put room to let, £500, or have they gone into detail? Large room available, large double room available for a single occupant, luxury room included TV, close to the city centre, etc, etc. Do they sell it, or do they just put, we have a room available? So monitor that. That's one thing you need to do, is look at the advert. How detailed is the advert? So another thing you can do to actually find the best property manager for yourself is speak to a few different property managers regarding how much they're going to charge you. So you can negotiate this. So they might charge for HMO lettings. Generally, most companies will charge 12%, between 10 to 12% for HMO management. Some will be a lot more, say 15%. But what I'd actually say is you can always negotiate terms. So if you find a property manager that you really like, you think you're a good fit for yourself, then don't be afraid to negotiate terms and try. Because the worst thing that can happen is they'll just say no. Definitely recommend negotiate the terms and see what you can do there. Another thing you can do is you can review their management agreement. So you can ask them to provide a management agreement and also a tenancy agreement. So you can say to them, can I have a quick look at your tenancy agreement? Just because you want to double check that you're sound and safe. Now some of them might have a problem with it because they might think, oh, you're going to use it for your own, you're just going to do it on your own. But definitely the management agreement, I'm pretty sure they'll have no problem showing you their copy of a management agreement, because if they do want to close the deal with you, then it's probably in their interest to keep you happy and just get the deal done. Okay, so the final thing that I want to talk about today is how much should you realistically pay for property management. Now, property management fees can cost anywhere in the region of 4% up until 15%. If you're doing an SA, it can go all the way up to 20%. And I know because I've paid 20% management fees for SA providers before. Now, what should you pay? Obviously, you want to get the best management for the lowest costs. Whoever you do go with, you basically try and negotiate those terms down a little bit. So, on average, people are charging between 4%, which is probably going to be for a single let. Obviously, that's the low point. 4% is kind of the lowest I've ever heard of. So 4% all the way up until 20%. Now, the property type is going to vary on how much percentage you're going to pay. So for example, with a single let property, you might be able to negotiate a 6 or 7% management fee. And obviously that is per rental income. So for example, if you have a single let, that's going to get you £600 a month in income. So the rent is £600 that you're going to get every month. The management fee might be, say, 6% of that. Quickest way to work that out is £600, divide that by 100, times that by 6%, and it gives you the monthly cost. So if you have £600 in rent every month coming in, you have the agreement on a 6% agreement, then you're going to have to pay the property managers £36 per month, right there. That's 6% for a single let is pretty standard, okay? So I don't think you're overpaying if you decide to go for a 6% on a single let. But let's say you're looking at a HMO, it's completely different, because with a HMO, there's a lot more management involved. The property managers are gonna have a lot more headaches to deal with. Trust me on that, because I've managed HMOs myself and I know what's involved. Let's say with HMOs, what is kind of the bog standard? I believe the standard rate is between 12 to 15% for HMO management. If you can get something lower than that, and you're happy with the service that they're going to provide, then that's great. So if you can get a 10 or 11% management fee, then that's perfect. But you might be thinking, how do the property managers make their money if they're only getting £200 for 6 months worth of rent? When the property management have all their systems in place and they have hundreds of properties that are all paying them 6% every month, they will make good money because they have so many clients and landlords that are paying them this 6% every month. So I think with the management company, it's more of a numbers game. So if you are looking to set up a management company, you need to be thinking, right, I'm gearing up to have on hundreds of properties before it becomes very profitable. So guys, those are my top tips for finding the right property manager for yourself, and I've spoken a little bit about property management. If you did enjoy this video, then like, comment and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so comment below, because I want to hear, do you manage your own properties or do you have a manager? If you have a manager, then what percentage are you paying? Comment below. So one thing I really want to do is I want to get my property management company on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, comment below, because I'm thinking that we'll do it. I just need a little nudge from you guys. Okay? So,